Yeah. So like my biggest mantra, and you can ask any of my friends or family, like the biggest thing I've always said is, what if it all works out? And so we're really great at figuring out like how something can't work, but we're terrible at figuring out how can't something work. And I think that's what makes the difference between successful entrepreneurs and non-successful entrepreneurs is one's figuring out a way to make it work, one's figuring out a way that it can't.
Mm.
And so focus on the positive.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Everyone, hello. Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Podcast. I am your host, Q Edmonds, and my guests may not know this, but y'all know what I like to say. I'm excited. I'm super excited to be here. I'm super excited about my guest. This guy and the way he does his business, he has a way to just make things simple. Things that may seem like it's very complicated over your head, he has a way to just simplify. I was just telling them, I think he's very great at communicating, and I think y'all gonna find that out. And so I am so happy to introduce you guys to Mr. Jesse Allen. Mr. Jesse, how you doing today, sir?
I'm doing great. I appreciate you having me on here.
Absolutely, man. Listen, I appreciate you being here. Hopefully I didn't put no pressure on you, man. But listen, I just,
No, you're
y'all
good.
good. See, great. Because you know who you are, man. You know exactly who you are. And I'm just excited, man, to have this opportunity for our listeners, our viewers, to see things from your lens and hear things from your perspective. You know, you're the expert here, and I'm like to kind of get my voice out the way and actually put your voice more on in the megaphone, right? So I'm gonna,
Yeah.
but this is what I want you to do, man. I want you to just take us into your world, right? Take us into your world. Tell us the things you've been focused on. Tell us what markets you're operating in. Tell us, a little bit about yourself. But yeah, man, just if you don't mind, Jesse, take us into your words and talk to us about, what it is your business does.
Yeah. So for us, it's all things real estate. We have the investor side of it. We also have the real estate sales side of it. And so we just wanted to figure out, how do we mesh those two things together where, if it doesn't benefit one company, it benefits the other company. But either way, it's always about making sure that the person's taken care of, the seller, the buyer that we're talking to. And so, for us, we started out just slinging homes, just talking to people. And I've done it both ways. I've sold houses for money where you're looking for that next paycheck, and I didn't like the way it felt. And then I started changing the way that I wanted to do business where it was more about the people. And you can ask any of my past clients, or anybody that we've done business with, it's going to be a win-win at the end of the day, or we're not going to do the deal. And I truly care about them. We've pulled up to houses with, buyers before, and we're just like, hey, this ain't the house for you. Based on what you told me, I wouldn't feel comfortable you buying this house.
Mm.
And so I think people really appreciate just the genuine person that we come off to be and that who we truly are. And so that's kind of, working with investors when you're on the real estate sales side of things, you start to see.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors, working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
What you're making as an agent versus what they're making as an investor. And the question always that everybody always asks is, why not me? And
Mm.
so we started asking ourselves that question, and that's kind of what made us jump into that.
I echo. That's the sense I pick up from you is just the authenticity and the honesty. It shines through to me, and I have no idea you're the same way with your clients and people that you're connecting with. And I love how you said, "Listen, we on the investor side and the sales side. It's like built-in lead generation. Like you like we can. It's for you guys. Like we can help you either way." And I think that's just a brilliant concept and strategy. Of course, I like the way how you say you just simplify things for everybody, and I
Yeah.
appreciate that. And that's not always easy in this climate, right? It says some people still trying to figure out how to make it simple. So I would love for you to tell me what's been the key to keeping that machine running smoothly.
I think for us, it's just, being surrounded by great people and then having some kind of model or system that you follow. A lot of people, they buy with emotion or, they make decisions based on emotion. And there's one thing that you'll learn is that when you buy with emotion, like there's always going to be a regret at some point during that transaction. So looking at, hey, do the numbers work? Yes, they do. That's great. Let's move forward. If the numbers don't work, hey, it's no hard feelings. Like I don't have any ill will toward that person or toward the house. It's just the numbers just didn't make sense. And I think that's what simplifies things because then you either get a green light or you get a red light. Like there's no gray area in there at all. And so, I mean, we when we're buying houses from people that are looking for a cash offer, like, I mean, I'll let them know too, like, hey, this is what we can offer you in cash. But hey, based on your situation and the condition of your house, like it financially doesn't make sense for you to sell this house to me. Like, hey, let's get it on the open market. And some people just don't want to go through the hassle of that, which I can't fathom that in my mind. Like it kind of takes me off guard. But at the same time, like if that's truly what they want, of course I want to be the person to help them with that.
No, man, what I love about you, you said it earlier, but you kind of alluded to it now. Like just systems, right? I think I said to
Mhm.
you the saying, when you know who you are, you know what to do. You like, listen, you like, I got systems, when you got systems in place, it kind of keeps you from getting emotional because it's
Mhm.
like either it makes sense or it don't. I don't have to get emotional about it. I don't have to get attached to it. If it makes sense, it makes sense. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. But that's all predicated on the system that you have in place. Like when you got that system in place, you know what to do. You know who you are. You know how our business flow. You know what our model is. And so I love that. And I think that's an amazing nugget that you shared about, just not being emotional. But I'll be honest with you too. I do want to talk about emotions a little bit
Yeah.
because, there are moments when things get real, right? When deals go sideways, a time
Yep.
when you have to pivot fast. And so tell me if you can share a story like that and maybe where you was able to keep your emotions out of it and let your
Yeah.
discipline take control. But I know, no, sometimes one deal is not like the next. So is there a time when you had to pivot fast?
Yeah. I mean, so my wife, her risk tolerance is extremely low. My risk
Mm.
tolerance is extremely high. And so when we're looking at flip properties, like I can see the end product, I can see the vision for it. And so when we first started, a lot of times it would be, hey, we're going to buy this house. The numbers make sense. And she would look at the house and be like, why are we even looking at this? Like, there's no way
Mm.
that we should be buying this house. And
Mhm.
so knowing that she's a very analytical person, that's just her personality in general. I knew it wasn't about the money we were going to make on it. It wasn't anything like that. Like she wanted to see the numbers. She wanted to know that it was going to be a safe bet. She wanted to see the plan laid out, who was going to be doing the work. And so I think that's where, you can't get frustrated that somebody's different than you like that. You just have to look at how are they seeing this problem or how are they seeing the situation and how do I show up to better communicate with that person so that they understand, not necessarily from my point of view, but from their point of view. And I think that
Mhm.
that's important, whether you're dealing with sellers that you're buying investment properties from, if you're a real estate agent, you're working with buyers, like how do they look at it? Or even people that are funding your deals, everybody's going to be different. Some people want to be more hands on, some people just want to send you money, receive money. And so just knowing what their personality's like and making sure that you tap into that.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency. It's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
Now, again, man, I can see like, you being centered. I love how you just brought up your wife and talked about, the differences in your processing. Me and my wife, we always talk about that all the time, how we
Hmm.
process differently. But what that does do, because we process differently, but we want to come to the same conclusion, it ups our communication. And that's what I heard you say, like even communicating with your clients, like talking it over, like learn their perspective. A lot of times as being husbands, we get that training being with our wives. So when we start to talk business, we're able to talk and communicate, really communicate if need be,
Uh,
just to make sure everybody's on the same page, because that's what it's all about, us being on the same page, because we want everybody to win. And it makes no sense if everybody, the communication is broken down. It's going to be chances that there's going to be some type of, wrinkle, or I can't think of a word, but we're not going to be on the same page. I'll just put it like that. And
yeah,
so thank you for that. A lot of people don't talk about that. And I appreciate that type of honesty and perspective. And honestly, that will help you from just dabbling in this business to being in it for the long term, making those
yeah,
connections and communications. Because I know you talked about that a lot of people come to you and bring deals to you. Like you don't have to necessarily go
yep,
looking for them, but that shows to me that there's communication and connection with people within, your circle. So yeah, I love that, man. I love that.
yeah.
So
Well, and
yeah.
also, whenever you get into business, people feel like you have to put on this persona, like you have to become a different person, and that's where like the salesy voice comes in, and like the used carsman stigma comes in. And so, my advice to everybody is like, whenever they're talking to somebody they've never talked to before, speak to them as if you've known them your entire life, or as
Mm,
if they're your best friend or your family member. Like if you had to
mm,
pick up your phone and call your brother or your mom or your sister today, or your best friend, and talk to them about
mm,
investing or buying and selling a house, like how would you speak to
mhm,
them? You wouldn't put on a
mhm.
suit and tie and get proper and stand up straight. Like you would be relaxed and have a good conversation with them. And what I've realized is by doing that, you're more comfortable, but they're more comfortable too. Like that wall they put up whenever they know that you're doing something real estate related, that instantly gets broken down. And it kind of catches them off guard when you're like, hey, how have you been doing today? Or hey, how's your week going?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we don't have a script we follow. We don't do any
Mm.
of that. Like, we're just having a conversation.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm gonna take a shot at some people, man, but you and I sound like we're similar husbands. A lot of people, they get that sales pitchy kind of routine because some of them within their marriage, they still trying to manipulate their wives and sell them for,
Yeah.
and dream. Yeah, but it's like, nah, ain't no manipulation here. We're gonna talk about this thing together. But anyway, that's a whole nother podcast. So that's a whole nother podcast. But anyway,
Mm,
but man, I honestly, that's a great nugget. Talk to them like they're your best friend. Talk to them
mhm.
like you want real relationship with them, and just not
Yep.
some kind of reciprocal transaction relationship, right? And so, yeah,
Yeah.
no, I understand that for sure. Let me ask you this: what are you most focused on solving or scaling next? Like, what's the next real goal for you?
I mean, for us, it was, we wanted to build passive income. Our goal was to, we have kids that are 11, 9, and 8 right now.
Oh,
And,
man,
people set up college funds, they set up all these different accounts for their kids that they're taken care of. And so what we wanted to do was hand our kids an opportunity. And so our goal when we started buying rentals rather than flips, I mean, we still flip houses, but we just use that money in a different way to purchase
yeah,
rentals.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
We wanted to hand each one of our children two houses that were already paid off and rented out to where they have options. Like, hey, if you want to continue the business and you want to keep those rentals, now you have passive income you can grow on. If you want to sell those houses and go chase your dream and paint for 2 years, like do whatever you want to do. If you want to go after music, theater, whatever it is, you have your options. And if
Mm,
you want to refinance those houses and pay for your way through college, like do those. But our kids will never say that they didn't have an opportunity to do what they wanted to do. And
yeah,
so that's the biggest thing for us is like, hey, think about what you want to do with your life. You don't have to figure it out right now, but by the time that you graduate high school, like be thinking about, if I could do anything and make money doing it, what would I want to do? Great.
yeah,
Go out and do it. Chase that dream for 2 years, 3 years, however long that money lasts. But once it's out, she's out.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Brother, I'll be honest with you, man. You said 3 kids, 11, 9, 8.
Yeah.
I've heard people wanting to leave one house for their kids. You said no, 2 houses per kid. Did
Yeah.
I hear you correct on that? That's
Yeah. No,
two
you heard it
houses
correct.
per
Yeah.
yeah, like no, that's man, that's amazing. That's a goal. That's keeps you motivated, and I love that. You want to make sure your kids have options. Man, that's brilliant. That's amazing, and that's big. And I'm glad you got that in place. I'm glad that that's your next motivation. I'm glad that that's the next move that keeps you going. And I love it, man. So we talked. Listen, we talked a little bit about relationships,
Mhm.
and I know there's a lot of people listening. You're giving them a ton of great nuggets. And so I want to take them, I want to take you in this kind of leaning in this direction because I think they need to hear this from you. When it comes to building relationships and growing your network, what has
Mhm.
made the biggest difference for you?
I think just being open and honest and just doing what you say you're going to do. If I had $1 for every time someone told me that they were going to show up at a certain place or buy a certain house or call a lender or whatever it may be, and they didn't do it, I'll tell you right now, like I wouldn't have to work in real estate anymore. Like I'd be
That
set for
part.
life. And so
Yeah.
that's the biggest thing. Like if you truly don't think you can do something, don't say you can do it. And
Yeah.
a lot of people are so scared to ask for help or say, "Hey, I don't know, but let me find out." Or, "Hey, I'm not sure if I can make that happen, but let me work on that and get back to you." Like they're just so scared of like losing something in that moment, whether it be their pride or their ego or a dollar amount or a client, whatever it might be. But I
Yeah.
can promise you, like honesty will go a long way in this business. And, I know over the last 3 or 4 years, there's been a ton of people get into the investment world, and that's great. And a lot of them just don't know where to start. I would say just start by being yourself and being honest with people.
Love it. I mean, and I've heard you say honesty. I don't know how many times this podcast. So, I mean, I mean, to me, it just shows me your through line. That's the through line: being honest, integrity, building meaningful relationships, real relationships, talking to people like they are part of the family in a sense, part of the friendship, part of the real connection, part of the real relationship. These are the through lines that I keep hearing from you. And so refreshing, so amazing. And so we're coming towards the end, but when I'm talking to someone like you, I like to sometimes pivot to a question like this. Is there anything that's kind of been on your mind, on your heart, anything as far as maybe inspiration, education, motivation that maybe you would want to share with those that are listening? I would love to open up the opportunity for you to do that if there's something like that on your heart and in your mind.
Yeah. So like my biggest mantra, and you can ask any of my friends or family, like the biggest thing I've always said is, what if it all works out? And so we're really great at figuring out like how something can't work, but we're terrible at figuring out how can't something work. And I think that's what makes the difference between successful entrepreneurs and non-successful entrepreneurs is one's figuring out a way to make it work, one's figuring out a way that it can't.
Hmm.
And so focus on the positive. And so for us, we're really great at taking things that sound complicated. A lot of people want to get into investing, but the biggest things that we hear is, "Oh, I don't have the money and I can't find the deal or I don't have the contractors." Like there's so many excuses of why something won't work. And being somebody that came into this business with absolutely nothing and turning it into, now we make 100 grand in passive income off of our rentals alone. And then we still have our flips and we still have our real estate
Hmm.
business and we never miss our kids' games. We still spend time as a family.
Hmm.
Then it's
Come
like
on.
the the limiting beliefs that we tend to have, I can promise you they're not the things that are holding you back. So money will be the least concern that you have. And so the next big thing for us is like we get on calls all the time and we teach investors across the country. And so with time being so limited, getting on a call with one person at a time for 30 minutes or an hour and teaching them everything I know isn't feasible. And so, how do we get that information out to like thousands of people to where they can tap into it at any point and it gives them the information? And the thing that we've learned for the longest time, I thought that, like, hey, this is a great idea. I can't share it with anybody because somebody's going to steal it, rip off my business. Lack of information is not the problem. Lack of
Mm,
implementation is the problem. There's thousands of books that tell you how to be a millionaire, but how many millionaires are there in the world? Not very many. It's because people struggle with consistency, and it's because consistency is boring. Like before I got on the call with you, I was making phone calls,
mm,
and some of those calls are great, and some of those calls aren't great. And when
mm,
I get off this podcast, I'm going to make more phone calls.
mm,
So consistency is probably the most boring thing that you'll do in your life, but
mm,
consistency is the thing that will get you from point A to point B the fastest.
Yeah, man. That was absolutely great.
Yeah.
That was absolutely great. Consistency. Like, yeah, sometimes the most successful thing you can do is get used to just doing the same routine over and over and over. But again, it goes to the system, right? When you have a system, put it in place, do the discipline of the system, and that way you don't have
Mhm.
to, as you say, get emotional. I don't have to get emotional. I have to
Yeah.
be moved by emotion. So, man, I thank you. Thank you so much, man. Listen, before
Yeah.
we wrap, no, no, go. You got something else to say? I don't want to cut
No,
you
I was
off,
just
brother.
saying, no, no, I'm not cutting you.
Okay.
No, you're good.
Yeah, and Jessica's listen, you dropping these gems. If you had something else to say, I wanted to be quiet so you could say it. Um, but listen, before we wrap, if someone wanted to reach out to you, connect with you, maybe collaborate and learn more about what you're doing, what's the best way for them to reach out to you, sir?
Yeah, honestly, probably email is the best way to get me. I'm also on Facebook, Instagram. I mean, I have a TikTok account, but that's just
Yeah.
like mindless scrolling every once in a while when I get up before the kids get up and stuff. So, AGL Properties is our real estate business. So, if you just look up AGL Properties on Facebook or Instagram, you'll find me there. We don't have a page for our investments or anything like that. We kind of keep
Okay.
that just within the family and stuff. And so,
Absolutely.
yeah, AGL Properties, Jesse Allen, you guys can reach out to me anytime, send me a message. I'm telling you right now, like, I am always happy to help however I can. Like, if you have a question, don't hesitate to reach out. I promise I'll get back to you.
Love it. And can you say it slower for me a little bit? Is it HGO properties? Am I hearing
Nope,
that?
it's AGL. So it's on my shirt right here. So it just stands for our kids' initials. So we have
Got
Ashton,
you.
Gage, and Lennox.
Got you. Action Gage and Linux. That is
Yep.
amazing. Action Gage and Linux. I love it, man. Oh man, I listen, sir. I appreciate you so much, man. Thank you for your story. Thank you for your time. Thank you just for your perspective. This was a great episode, and I know our viewers got a ton of just value from it. So again, Mr. Jesse, thank you so much, sir. I appreciate you so much.
No, thank you. I appreciate it, Q.
Absolutely. And now, everyone else, listen, I just said it to him. I know you got value from this. So please make sure you're subscribed. You do not want to miss on these amazing conversations. Well, I'm having them every day. We have amazing people just like Jesse. You do not want to miss out. So just go ahead and subscribe. This is one click. Click up, then you subscribe. That's it. Then I can stop bothering you. So again, Jesse, thank you. And to everyone else, we'll see you on the next time.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.